What do I hold on to?
Whatever you can.
We made it. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally arrived to Season 8 of Game of Thrones. After nearly 2 years of waiting, we finally have Episode 1. So let's talk about it. So I'm not going to do a play-by-play of every scene in the episode, because that would just be crazy. Instead, I'm just going to give you my opinions on some of the most memorable meetups that happened in the episode. So we start off the episode with Jon and Daenerys arriving in Winterfell, and this is just an homage on the first episode of the series actually, when Robert Baratheon and his family arrive in Winterfell. Throughout the episode, there's a lot of parallel that they littered throughout to kind of pay homage back to the first couple of seasons of the show. And as Daenerys gets acquainted with everyone, she can already tell that the Northerners do not like her. Obviously, they know of her father, the Mad King, who came before her, so they just kind of hold that grudge towards her. But obviously, she's not her father, but then again, they don't know that either. We have a Bran and Jon reunion, which we haven't seen since Season 1 of the show, and right off the bat, you can already tell that Jon knows that Bran is a lot different from when he last saw him, obviously because Bran is now the Three-Eyed Raven. So that was just really cool to see how they threw that in there compared to Season 1. Staying in Winterfell, we now have a Tyrion and a Sansa reunion. Now this is pretty big because they haven't seen each other since, I believe, Season 4, when Joffrey was murdered at his wedding. Tyrion makes some clips about how it was a boring affair, and then Sansa obviously comes back saying it had its moments, obviously referring to Joffrey's death. So I think that's kind of funny how they can both kind of laugh about that now. During that conversation, Sansa did throw some shade over at Tyrion. This is because he actually trusts Cersei on bringing the Lannister army down to Winterfell. Now, no one really trusts Cersei, but Tyrion thinks that because she's pregnant, that maybe her mindset has changed just a little bit, but obviously she's wrong, because Cersei sucks. We have a Hound and Arya reunion. Nothing too crazy here. I figured that it was going to go as expected. Obviously, the Hound really doesn't hold too much against Arya anymore, and Arya is just kind of happy to see the Hound as well, because they did take that journey together back in the earlier seasons of the show. We then have a shot of the Golden Company arriving in King's Landing. Now, I didn't really know a whole lot about the Golden Company before this show, so I did a little research, and apparently they were founded by the Targaryens a century before the War of the Five Kings. And they're a private army for hire, so it only makes sense that Cersei would dig deep in her pockets to get them on her side. I also thought it was really funny how Cersei kept mentioning that she wished she had elephants. This is kind of a jab at the producers, because obviously it would cost them a fortune to have elephants on the set, and it would just be kind of a hassle to have them running around during all the battle scenes. So I just thought it was funny how they kept saying that she couldn't have any of the elephants. We have a scene with Cersei and Euron after the fact that Euron brought the Golden Company to King's Landing to help Cersei in the fight of the wars. And obviously Euron just wants to have sex with Cersei. I mean, let's just be honest here. I think it's kind of funny how literally all he wants is just to have sex with her, and she's just like, nah, I'm good. But she actually does eventually cave in, because he did bring her justice by bringing in the Sand Snakes along with bringing the Golden Company army there. So it is well deserved in a way, but still just funny how he wants to bang her so bad. We have a meetup of Samwell and Daenerys. She's obviously thanking him for curing Jorah, but then later finds out that she actually killed his parents. This is because his father and brother wouldn't bend the knee to Daenerys Targaryen during her raid on the Lannister army. So this obviously hit Samwell pretty damn hard, and after this, he kind of realizes that he may not trust her as much as he would want to, her being the queen and all. So this kind of makes some conflict in his head, and this is where the great reveal of the episode comes from. And then we get to the great reveal of the episode when Samwell tells Jon Snow that he's actually the rightful heir of the Seven Kingdoms. Now, this is already information that we've known for a while now, so it's mainly just to draw it onto Jon's facial expressions to kind of give us that, oh, I just found something out, you know. So obviously this is going to cause some conflict between Jon and Daenerys because they're obviously in love with each other. And I think that's what the next episode is definitely going to be about. It's just him telling Daenerys of his ancestry and then her maybe feeling weird about it, maybe alliances change. And that's what I think this first episode did a good job at doing. Just that inner conflict with Jon Snow on, you know, finding out the truth of his heritage. Next, we have the meme of the century. We have Bran and Jaime meeting each other for the first time since season 1. Now, obviously, there's some animosity here towards Jaime because he did obviously push him out of the window, leaving him paralyzed for the whole remainder of the series. But in my opinion, I don't think Bran really is going to care a whole lot. Obviously, he's not going to be, you know, buddy-buddy with Jaime, but I think him being the Three-Eyed Raven, he's kind of looked past his humanly counterparts, I do believe. But just that face at the end when Jaime's like, oh shit, is 100% priceless. Overall, I thought the episode was awesome. You know, seeing all those reunions, it definitely brought back some nostalgia that I had from watching the first few seasons, and just seeing how every character has come back a little bit different, more matured and everything like that, just really complements that character development aspect that I love so much. I am thoroughly excited for episode 2, and when that does come out, I'll be making another video about that as well. I hope to just keep doing more of these series, just kind of each week. Just make a video kind of on my thoughts and recaps of the Game of Thrones episode. If you guys like this, give it a like and subscribe down below, and I will see you on the next one.